Hello and welcome to an India Today special broadcast that comes to you from the cold, high-altitude desert of Ladakh. I'm Gaurav Sawant, and on ground, the Indian Army is engaged in a virtual eyeball-to-eyeball confrontation with the Chinese forces at altitudes between 15,000 and over 19,000 feet above sea level along the line of actual control. Is this then the Siachinization of the line of actual control? The Indian Army has major tactical advantages on the north bank of Pangong Tso, where the deployment is above the Chinese forces near Finger 4. On the south bank of Pangong Tso, the army is on Blacktop, on Gurung Hill, Magar Hill, Richinla, Rizangla, all heights that give India not just a tactical but a strategic advantage. Can China afford extreme high altitude warfare where India has a clear edge?
In April 1984, Indian troops snatched control of the Siachen Glacier in northern Kashmir. "30 years on, India continues to dominate the icy heights, giving it a huge strategic advantage.
The way we have now occupied heights south of Pangong Tso, Helmet Top, Black Top, Magar Hill, Gurung Hill, Zangla, Richinla, it's extremely difficult for anybody to dislodge a defender if he's entrenched himself. It's not easy. The heights in mountains favor the defender, and anyone who occupies such great heights, it's virtually impossible for the attacker to dislodge him from there.
Now in the conflict zone of Ladakh, Indian Army has once again changed the balance of power by occupying key heights along the Pangong Tso.
It's not just the LOCization of the LAC that is happening at this point of time, but the Siachinization of the LAC at some of these locations where the army is now dominating on extreme high altitudes between 17,000 and 20,000 feet above mean sea level.
While tensions are at an all-time high, it's advantageous for India in eastern Ladakh. As we told you here on India Today, the Indian Army is no longer playing defensively, but preempting and acting first to thwart the Chinese. India now has tactical advantage on both the north and south banks of Pangong Tso. India controls the Rezangla, Rechilla, Blacktop and Goswami Hill and other crucial heights near Chushul to preempt the Chinese army activities underway there.
In a swift and tactically brilliant maneuver, soldiers of the Indian Army are now on commanding heights north of Pangong Tso, close to Finger 4. This means the Indian Army effectively dominates Chinese army positions on Finger 4, effectively stopping further Chinese advancement from Finger 4 towards Finger 3 and Finger 2. This also indicates that the Indian Army is now on altitudes between 17,000 and 20,000 feet at the line of actual control on either side of the Pangong Tso, whether it's at Richinla, Rizangla, Blacktop, or at this dominating feature north of Pangong Tso. The Indian Army just cannot trust the Chinese.
The strategic heights are now dominated by Indian positions, with Chinese positions in India's line of sight and fully vulnerable to India's actions. As Indian and Chinese army continue to eyeball each other, it is clearly advantageous for India. With Gaurav Sawant in Ladakh, Bureau Report, India Today.
I quickly now want to cut across to India Today's editor Defense, Abhishek Bhalla, who joins us from Leh. Abhishek, the army has heights of tactical advantage but strategic significance. How difficult is it for us to remain on these heights? Is this now Siachinization of the LAC? And how difficult is it for the Chinese in this area, Abhishek?
Gaurav, it's a battle of occupying mountain heights. Whoever is sitting on those hilltops will control this confrontation from here onwards. The big challenge for the Indian forces is, be it the Indian Army or the ITBP, who's facing Chinese aggression for the last 4 months now, is that the winter is approaching, and we are here in Leh, which is around 11,500 feet. It's a rugged terrain here itself. One can imagine what the situation will be in these forward locations that are 15,000 feet plus height. It's going to be extremely difficult in days to come. And as I said, both the forces, be it the Chinese PLA or the Indian forces, are trying to occupy these crucial heights. And whoever remains here for a longer period of time will be at an advantage. At this moment, it seems that the Indian forces have occupied some of these crucial heights, and this is what is irking the Chinese, and that's why we see a fresh set of face-offs taking place.
When we look at the situation on ground zero, south of Pangong Tso, you have the Indian Army on our side of the line of actual control, but at heights that were so far unoccupied. Rizangla, where that famous battle of 1962 was fought. Richinla, Blacktop, Gurung Hill and Magar Hill that overlook the Spangur Gap. Now, this is a huge advantage for India. It's not just a tactical advantage, it's a strategic advantage. Also on the north bank of Pangong Tso, being on a position or a post higher than the Chinese on Finger 4 actually negates the Chinese presence on Finger 4, Abhishek.
That's right, Gaurav. And, whatever has happened in the last 10 days has completely changed the scenario. On the night of August 29th, August 30th, there was a face-off between the Indian and the Chinese troops. Later on, we've also had incidents of firing. So the rules of engagement have completely changed now. Officials that I've spoken to continue to reiterate that from here onwards, it's highly unlikely that scuffles will take place, because if the Chinese come closer, the Indian forces will retaliate in the same manner as they have been doing so till now. And in fact, there are places where the Chinese are still in a face-off with the Indian troops. Remember those pictures that came that showed the Chinese carrying those medieval, barbaric kind of weapons. So the situation remains extremely fluid, volatile. It's a heightened state of alert that officials say that they are following at this point of time. The Finger area, of course, once again has become very, very volatile. Fresh build-up by the Chinese is taking place. But the fact is that because the Indians are also on some of the crucial heights, they can see all the movement, all the mobilization that the Chinese are making in the Finger area.
Abhishek Bhalla, we will continue to track the story very closely. For the moment, Abhishek, many thanks. The Indo-Tibetan Border Police that fought almost shoulder to shoulder with the army in some of the instances of the face-off is also preparing for the long haul. ITBP is the first line of defense in some of these areas, and additional ITBP personnel are being trained to be deployed. Winter deployment in 2020 will be very different from deployment in the past, for the simple reason that the Chinese just cannot be trusted. India Today's editor defense Abhishek Bhalla interacted with some of the ITBP personnel and also saw their training in Ladakh. This is an India Today exclusive.
Line of actual control remains on edge. While there is already heavy deployment in Ladakh, increasing tensions call for more backup to join the forces. The Indo-Tibetan Border Police that stands guard along with the army is all set to send in fresh deployments.
These ITBP troops are all set to be deployed at the line of actual control in eastern Ladakh amid the ongoing tussle with the Indian and Chinese forces. They are all ready. They are undergoing rigorous training to make sure they are set for all challenges to take on the Chinese belligerents.
Mountain warfare is a different ballgame. and that's exactly what the troops are wargaming. The rugged mountain tops and treacherous terrain pose as a big challenge as combating the enemy. But that won't impact the morale of these braves.
The fight of occupying mountain heights, that's exactly what is happening at the line of actual control in eastern Ladakh as of now. And these troops who are fresh and will be deployed in some of these friction points are exercising exactly this. We can see the rugged nature of the terrain. It's extremely difficult to breathe here. We are at around 12,000 feet.
The troops carry out the mock patrols meant for taking over the heights at 12,000 feet, but the real challenge is at heights more than 15,000 feet. In the backdrop of gunshots being fired for the first time in 45 years and both sides bringing in their tanks and artillery guns, it's going to be a hot winter for troops at the LAC.
The last few days have turned things extremely volatile, and even though there is a dialogue which will continue between the military commanders as well as diplomats, it seems that things are only going to hot up in this winter in eastern Ladakh. With camera person Satya, this is Abhishek Bhalla for India Today in Ladakh.
To protect our borders better connectivity is required. The government realized that, and the Border Roads Organization was tasked to build and improve the Durbuk-Shok-Daulat Beg Oldie Road, this 255-kilometer road that connects Leh to Daulat Beg Oldie, our last post before the Karakoram mountain ranges. This is a very crucial road, now ready for our soldiers 365 days a year, and this has made the Chinese extremely uncomfortable. I had the privilege of being the first journalist to travel on the DSDBO road. This is an India Today exclusive.
This heavy excavator has a long arm drill to make holes in hard rock. The Border Roads Organization engineers then use gelatin sticks to blast the rock and carve a road to quickly be able to move and maintain troops at India's most forward post along the India-China line of actual control at Daulat Beg Oldie in northern Ladakh. The Border Roads Organization is currently working against time to finish the road so that troops, heavy tanks and artillery guns can be deployed as and where required.
The big challenge was this realignment was in a total hard rock feature, where 70% of the material is total hard rock. And we had to make a lot of effort to make this road, and now almost 70% of this alignment has been made. Just 2 kilometers is balanced.
The brigade looking after the DBO sector was by and large either air-maintained or military trucks and convoys waded through the Shok River to replenish men and material. The China study group took a conscious decision to build 61 India-China strategic road and the 255-kilometer road from Durbuk along the Shok River to Daulat Beg Oldie was classified as one of the most crucial strategic roads. Post-2017 work was undertaken on a war footing to complete this road.
The DSDBO road, this 255-kilometer long road, runs parallel to the LAC. So any road which goes parallel to the LAC has its own importance, and it is touching the Karakoram Pass, very close to the Karakoram Pass, our airstrip of the DBO.
In this area, there is no civilian labor available for road construction. The Ministry of Railways ran a special train even in COVID times to bring in labor from Dumka in Jharkhand. The Dumka laborers work with the army at altitudes up to 18,000 feet and see themselves as soldiers and nation builders.
हम लोग 16,000 फीट की ऊंचाई पर है, यहाँ ठंड है, ठंड नहीं लग रही?
ठंड थोड़ा बहुत लग रही है।
हाँ, तो कैसे काम करते हैं यहाँ पर?
ये कपड़ा लगा के पहनते हैं, थोड़ा जैकेट उकेट लगा के।
कब से आ रहे हैं?
हम लोग हो गया 10-12 साल से।
Carving a track and then a blacktop road is virtually mission impossible, but BRO engineers are bringing in the latest technology and heavy mountain cutting equipment even from Europe to be able to provide our soldiers an all-weather road. Take for example this excavator called the Spider. It's able to work and cut through hard mountain at virtually impossible angles. This is the first time that the army has brought in such a machine. The road to Daulat Beg Oldie is tough, but for the Army and Border Roads Organisation, the bigger challenge after the completion of the road will to keep it open through the winters despite heavy snowfall.
For the Border Roads Organization, the Army and the government, infrastructure development projects will continue in Ladakh to ensure better protection of our borders and development of the region. With cameraman Kripal Singh at Daulat Beg Oldie, Eastern Ladakh, Gaurav Sawant for India Today. The Indian Army has another ace up their sleeve, and this is the Nimu Padam Darcha Road, an all-weather 365-day connectivity road from Manali to Leh to replenish supplies for our soldiers, not just at the Siachen Glacier in Ladakh, but also in the crucial line of actual control area. Manjeet Singh Negi with this India Today exclusive.
While the military action is at LAC, India is speeding up the Nimu Padam Darcha road section, a 300-kilometer long road access which would help give the forces rapid access to Leh. This new all-weather road, which is 90% ready, will be open in 12 months for year-round operation.
Comparatively, this road, that is Nimu Padam Darcha road, the tunnels which are required, one is already constructed, that is Atal Tunnel, and this further one more tunnel is going to come up at Shinkula Pass, which will provide all-weather connectivity through this road to Kargil and Leh.
The terrain is difficult. Carving a road by cutting through rocky mountain has at times been described as mission impossible. But the Border Road Organization, often described as mountain tamers, has achieved this momentous task.
We are using the Sandvik company the latest model of the DC400 machine, which has a capacity to drill the 12 feet hole in a 1 minute and 360-degree mobility with a 30 to 40 feet height. The less staff the labor are used and maximum output. This machine is giving us the output of 10 to 12 times more than the conventional method. Morale of the troops was very high. Looking at the situation in the Ladakh region, we are working day and night in the shifts and working the maximum to get the output of the road so that we can connect the road in a shorter span.
The army needs multiple corridors to access this remote mountainous front line in a military conflict, when rapid deployment of troops and supplies are paramount. Plans to build a third alternative route was needed soon after the 1999 Kargil war, when Pakistani artillery shelled the Srinagar-Leh National Highway 1.
Though this time we have got some laborers from the locals also, so the local resources is a problem, the temperature is a problem, the terrain is a problem. However, as you know, that Border Roads Organization always up to the challenge, and we are doing it. And in next 2 years, maybe this road you will see a national highway double lane.
Amid the ongoing tension between India and China in Ladakh region, the approaches to Leh via Jojila Pass in the west and Rohtang Pass in the east have so far been tremendous lifeline connecting the northmost part of the India. Both Spectral Road constructed and maintained by the BRO, and now the BRO is constructing third alternate road, Nimu Padam Darcha. This road will play important role for the armed forces.
The location of the road, away from prying eyes of China and Pakistan, makes it special.
This road is actually shortest route for Leh from Manali, and it travels through low altitude area. So therefore, it can be kept open for 10 months during the whole year. And also this road is hidden from an enemy, so army can use this road very safely during the year.
The Nimu Padam Darcha road is not only of strategic significance, but also promises to bring prosperity of the region.
This new road will open almost 10 to 11 months, and the road will not be traceable for the enemy like China and Pakistan. With camera person Himanshu Sharma, this is Manjeet Negi for India Today in Nimu.
Well, that is all we have time for on this special broadcast from Ladakh. Many thanks for watching. News and updates continue on India Today. Stay with us.
Hi everyone, Preeti Chaudhary here. Hope you like this video. For latest news and analysis, like and subscribe to the India Today YouTube channel. And don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated. Thank you for watching.